Welcome to Invictus Porsche for a review of this Porsche 911 997 Gen 2 Carrera S. This has the PDK gearbox, in German known as the Doppelkupplungsgetriebe. The PDK was, a revolutionary gearbox when they introduced it in 2008 on pretty much all the 911s, and it sort of transformed the sports car world, especially the Porsche world, because when they even introduced the 991 GT3 in 2013, if I remember correctly, the GT3 was only available in PDK, and only I think in 2017 or 18 the 991 Gen 2 GT3 was then introduced in manual. That's because Porsche thought extremely highly of the PDK, and they really pushed people and encouraged people to buy the PDK. And it wasn't just sort of a marketing strategy. Overall, it was and it is a phenomenal gearbox. So the PDK has two clutches, and the two clutches work of odd and even numbers. So one clutch would work of 1, 3, 5 and 7, and the other clutch would work of 2, 4 and 6. The way these two clutches interchange between the two is pretty fantastic, and do an absolutely phenomenal, fantastic job, which unfortunately, when you are driving a manual, despite it being more engaging, despite it being a manual and you could manually change gears as you like, unfortunately it isn't as good both from a performance point of view and from a comfort point of view as the PDK. The PDK is simply a much more superior gearbox. Performance wise, this has some staggeringly fantastic numbers. That is 380 brake horsepower. Torque wise, it produces 420 Newton meters of torque. The 0 to 60 miles per hour is possible in 4.4 seconds. This also has the Chrono Sports Plus package, so you've got the Sports and the Sport Plus button there. Performance spec wise, this produces 380 brake horsepower. Torque is 420, and the 0 to 60 is pretty quick. It is 4.4 seconds, and you get pretty good economy, anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per gallon, and that is on a sports car that is 3.8 liters. Additionally, this has the Chrono Sports Plus package. You get this beautiful Chrono watch there with the Sport and a Sport Plus button, but also this has PASM, the Porsche Active Suspension Management System. By pressing that button, it actually stiffens your dampers and gives you a slightly driver-focused drive. Additionally, the rest of the spec on this is also pretty unique. That is the fact that it has the 19-inch turbo alloys. It's in the basalt black metallic. Again, it's quite a popular color. It's got the xenon headlights with the LED daytime running lights. The retractable spoiler. So overall, it has a good spec. It's been optioned very, very well. The 3.8 litre Carrera S is or was quite a popular option, and one of the reasons these 911s have gone up in values as much as they have is because they were built during the recession, between sort of 2008 to 2011. Some were produced into 2012. Not many people bought them. Therefore, there isn't many of them out there on the market. Hence why they cost the money that they cost, which is also reflective of the fantastic build quality and the improvements they've made. And the 997 Gen 2 was the last time Porsche actually made a Porsche before their partnership and the fact they were combined into the VAG group. So if you wanted a Porsche made by Porsche, this was the last time that they actually did that. Now on the interior, you find these beautiful sports seats with the hard back, the sports steering wheel paddle shifts. You've also got cruise control, and I've already touched on the fact that it's got the Chrono Sports Plus package, as well as PASM and heated seats, Bose sound system. It's got the updated or upgraded PCM touchscreen with navigation and mobile Bluetooth connectivity, and you've also got USB connection or connectivity at the bottom there. So overall, this isn't just a standard basic spec 911. Whoever bought this as new, went out with the intention of speccing a 911 to the top spec that he wanted, and he's done a phenomenal job. It being the Carrera S, it means it's a rear-wheel drive, not like the 4S, which are four-wheel driven, and it still maintains the inherent characteristics of a true historic rear-wheel driven 911. And the engine being behind the rear axle has given this a huge advantage over maybe other sports cars, because the front boot offers a lot of storage space, plus you've got a 2+2 layout, so you could have two passengers here at the back. So that is from the perspective of what it's been like to drive and what it's been like to have the PDK, and just to briefly tell you about the spec and the performance. It also has extremely good owner's history and service history. Service history wise, it pretty much has had full Porsche service history, and just I think 1 or 2 stamps have been from a specialist. So overall, it's been maintained extremely well and maintained to the servicing intervals given and stated by the manufacturer. So owners wise, it's got 5 owners since new, still quite a low number of owners for a 911 or a Porsche. They do tend to go through quite a few hands, especially at the beginning. Now I hope I've covered everything in terms of what it's like to drive, the spec, and all the other components that I've touched on. If you've got any questions or anything that I've missed on, please don't hesitate to contact us, and feel free to ask us any questions, whether it's about this 911 or something else in our stock. So thank you very much for your time, and wishing you an absolutely fantastic evening.